but
How do you
you
turn
have
them
to
on?
be the button right here.
Okay.
I think you have to be close,
Okay.
closer than test test. So if you're this way, you're
Test,
not.
test, 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 test. Yeah.
What number is
Yeah.
that? I'm gonna turn it up.
Yeah. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test.
Hello, hello. And what am I, chopped liver? Test, test. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Lord, prepare me. O Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be sanctuary for you. Pitchu li sharei tzedek, pitchu li sharei tzedek, avovam odeya ze hashar l'Adonai tzadikim yavo'u bo. Oh Lord, prepare me. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me? Yes? No? It's a new microphone, which is amazing, but at this moment...
Maybe if you turn it towards your mouth.
Hello? I don't know. Does that work? We thought we practiced this. Shabbat shalom. I don't know. I'll
Try it now. Put it back on.
put it back on. Yay for cancer blood.
No yay until it works.
Okay. This is why we brought you here, to test the microphones. Helene, do you hear me? Helene, do you hear me? Marcy? Gary? Yeah? Okay. Wow, it's so... I don't know if you all experienced this ever or once or sort of regularly. For me, this is such a blessed, precious moment to come here and be able to take a breath, to breathe, to try to feel peaceful. It takes effort to try to feel peaceful, doesn't it? It takes effort to feel peaceful, and it even takes effort to try to feel peaceful. So I don't know. I just am very grateful every week that this moment happens. I want to tell you a little story. You might have heard about this person who comes up to his friends. By the way, this is a story that is so fitting at Temple Beth-El. You'll understand, I think, why in a moment. But a person comes up to his friends and he says to this couple, you guys seem to get along so well. You seem to do so well at being a couple. Like, what's your secret? You get already why it's such an apt story to tell? Whatever. Okay, so the man says, well, here's our secret. We have a division of responsibilities in our home. It's a very specific thing, and we each have our very clear areas. I decide all the big issues, and my wife decides all of the little issues. So what I mean by that is I decide what the president's foreign policy should be and what Israel should do and what's really crucial for the Jewish people, while my wife just decides where we spend the money and where we send the kids to school and that sort of thing. That's the story. What's wrong? It's funny. Sometimes I think actually we turn to the first subject because we're afraid of the second. Right? We some of us, maybe of the Y chromosome variety, we turn to the big issues because we're sort of afraid of the small issues. Right? The truth is, we have I don't know about you, I have no control over what the president does, but these. Maybe at best we have power to influence the small things in our lives, starting with the choices we make. So it's a great story because you got two couples and.
He's trying to guilt you into laughing.
But it's also a great story because we're in the month of Elul and we're Marcy, share what's funny, and what? All right. I didn't really start laughing yet. All right. Anyway, I share this because, this is the season for us to focus on the small things, or the things that we mistakenly, profoundly at our hazard, think of as the small things. The small things are by far the biggest things, and it's the work of our lives, and most specifically from a Jewish perspective, the intentional work of this month, these days leading up to the high holidays. So, with all of that, even with we have the profound work to do, but at this moment, the ritual that we have to do. Whoa, was that me?
Probably.
Maddie, will you bring your parents up? We're going to light the Shabbat candles, you guys.
Coming up, all the Leibowitzes. All four of you. Over here.
Oops, it's all right.
But you get more exercise if you come the other way.
Oh, hear our prayer, we sing to you. Be gracious to the ones we love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear our prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Never underestimate the power of kindling a little flame. We continue on page 13, Lechu Neranena.
Let us sing unto God a new song. Let us sing unto God a new song. Yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la, la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai, nariya letzor isheinu. קדמה פניו ותודה, בזמירות נריע לו, בזמירות נריע לו. יאי לה 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 לה, יאי לה 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 לה, יאי לה 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 לה, יאי לה לה לה. Let us sing out to God. Let us sing unto God, sing unto God a new song. Let us sing unto God, sing unto God a new song. Yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la.
Psalm 92 can be found on page 18. A song for the Sabbath day.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. צדיק כתמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים דרעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר לאדוני, צורי ולא עוולת בו.
L'Chadodi is on page 22.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור הברכה מראש מכם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורף קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. We greet the Sabbath bride with the last verse. If it is your custom, I invite you to rise and face the entrance as we greet Shabbat with the last verse. בואי ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. הללויה, 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 hallelujah.
So funny, I was looking at the translation on page 23. I'm noticing this word, refrain, refrain, refrain. And I was like, is this a halachic thing? Like, is this on Shabbat, there's all these things we're not supposed to do, right? So it was referring to something musical, but maybe before we bridge to the Baruch Hu, think of something that you might refrain from doing for the next 25 hours or so. That would lend, or even minutes, that might be something that would lend an added element of Kedusha, of holiness to your Shabbat. Something, could be something important, could be a bad habit, but anything that you think might, just by putting it aside, you know when you're going on a trip, you just put it in the corner of your desk as if it's done? Something you can just put right there to kind of unburden yourself for Shabbat, giving us a minute to come into that intention. Taking a breath, we rise for the Baruch Hu, 26.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu. את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Continuing together on the bottom of 29. Holy is twilight, the realm of in-between, and so our sages taught, pray in the moments when the light and darkness touch. We are all twilight people, beyond categories and labels. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, widen our vision. Let it illumine our way to the God who transcends all boundaries and definitions. Blessed are you, God of all, who brings on the twilight.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים.
Page 30.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Continuing on page 34.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בעם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אדוני אלוהיהם אמת.
Page 41, together. Eternal, watch over my small domain
Of light
and shadow,
those few people who share my love, and all others upon this earth, that sometimes shakes with thunder and reverberates with lightning. Help us to live with fear and conquer rage. Heal the hate that makes us kill and covers the ground with this Red Sea, that only you can part, so we may all walk through the wilderness to your realm in peace,
where all men and
women are one,
and sing your
blessed name. Michamocha is in the middle of page 40.
Yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Micha mocha, vaylim Adonai. Micha mocha, נדר בקודש נורא תהילו עושה פלא נורא תהילו עושה פלא מלכותך ראו בניך בוקר לפני משה ומרים זלי אנו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד יאי לי יאי לי 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 יאי 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 ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
So Micha Mocha, that's a question. Who is like you? It's a little hint that some of our holiest moments, our deepest learning can only come when we ask a question. So it's been a few weeks since we asked the question, but I'm going to ask it now. What's your good news? Got to have some good news in the house. Anything good to share? Could be a little
Dana.
thing. Yes, Dana. Say it again. Sorry. A
Yay,
best friend in the
best
house.
friends
Nothing
from
better
Florida.
than that. Other visitors?
Avery. Oh.
Bruchim Abaim, family
Yes.
in from Israel. Welcome, welcome. Yes. A successful surgery.
Avery. To the back. Tara.
We're not going crazy in the office yet. Speak for yourself.
Avery. He's got his hand up.
Yeah. Your
Awesome.
sister's bat mitzvah.
Nice.
Awesome news. This side is very quiet. Yes. Oh,
Wow.
amazing.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Michelle.
But don't let him boss you around. One more from this side. Yes. Wow, a student who thanks you after every lesson. Oh, and from the very back, Tori, yes. You slept well. Mazal tov. That is a very holy thing.
Laura.
Yes.
Yay,
Big brothers,
big
the blessing
brothers.
of big brothers
Awesome.
and more family.
Woo!
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I asked for good
Michael.
news. That's an accomplishment. Okay. So with the shelter of that good news, we know there's hard news as well, but we gotta surround ourselves with that beautiful light of the good news. Hashkivenu.
Page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim.
Turn to the Shamro on page 46. 46.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת.
Amidah begins on page 48. If we're able to do so, we rise. And really encouraging you especially as we bridge into silence in this prayer, there's so much poetry on these upcoming pages. Dive in. 48.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. 52. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עבר. מי כמוך בגבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. 54. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים וקדושים בכל יום יחללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש, האל הקדוש.
We continue seated or standing, as is our custom. The Amidah continues on page 60, going all the way through page 70. page 70.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Amish Berach, our prayer for healing, can be found on page 77. As we pass through the aisles, please mention the name of anyone you're thinking of in need of healing of any kind.
הרופא לשורי לב ומחבש לעצבותם, מונה מספר לכוכבים, לכולם שמות יקרא. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Healer of the broken-hearted, binder of our wounds, counter of uncountable stars. You know who we are. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
So we're going to begin tonight with just a few words. Not too many. Don't worry. We won't read all of them. Does everyone have a sheet? Raise your hand if you are not sitting next to someone with one. We can pass them back. All right. It's a nice crowd. It must be the fall. Okay, so this week we have come to the Torah portion called Ki Tetzeh, which means when you Tetzeh, when you go out. And actually, it's not just when you're going out on a stroll. It's when you're going lemilchama, when you're going out to a war. Al oivecha. I should have worn my glasses. When you're going out to war against your enemies. And the text reads, "V'natato Adonai Elohecha biyadecha," and God gives your enemies over into your hands. V'shavita shivyo, and you take some of them captives. Well, you can just ask our bat mitzvah. There's a lot of difficult to swallow stuff in this Torah portion. How you treat a female captive, rules of war, all kinds of stuff. It's not politically correct modern stuff. And there are beautiful gems in it, but there's complicated stuff. So I want to take us on kind of a journey offered to us by the Sfat Emet, a great Hasidic teacher, who says, okay, this Torah portion always comes in the month of Elul. And the Sfat Emet says, you know what, you may think we're talking about all those enemies out there, but actually there's all kinds of other enemies that we are considering in this period of internal reflection. And when we go out, the gateways to get to them, they might be our eyes, our mouth, our ears, what we're hearing, what we're saying, what we're taking in. And so with this magnificent sleight of hand, even if you're not a Hebrew reader, you can see in that middle box, it's just a repetition of the last two words in the verse above. Everybody see that? The shin and the vet. Shav. A little like teshuva. A little like return. So the Sfat Emet does this thing. He says, you know what? It's not when you take some of them captive, but when you return to the returning that is God's. When you catch it, light bulb. So what is it that the Sfat Emet is talking about catching? Yes, yes, yes. This Torah portion is about history and military takeover and the nitty-gritty of what it means to be a people in this world. Elul is about the nitty-gritty too. But it's also about some other stuff. Anyone in a reading mood? English, promise. Okay. In everything.
In everything there is a point of divine life, but it is secret and hidden. Throughout the days of the week, we are engaged in a battle over this. We must realize that the strength we have to fight the evil urge comes only from God, as in the verse, and Adonai your God places him in your hand. That is, when you know it's from God, this is the return. When you capture his captivity, restoring the point to God, knowing that all comes from him.
This is the invitation of Elul. It's a tall order. I'm not able to do it so often. But whatever comes your way this month, really any time, but we have a special opportunity to put on our Elul glasses and say, oh, it must be a message to connect. Art Green, who does a beautiful job translating the Sfat Emet, says just below that in the italicized font, it's an incredible thing. Second line says, what the Hasidim are doing here, what the Sfat Emet is doing, is saying that anything we do can have massive spiritual potential. Mitzvot without kavanah are a worthless exercise. The whole purpose of them is to provide forms through which we can do the work of uplifting and transforming the ordinary. That is Elul. That is Elul. And we have all kinds of ways to do it. Take the sheet with you. Look at the bold. We have the opportunity to confess, to regret, to make a vow not to do it again. To actually have the opportunity to make the same mistake and not do it. Turn the page. And of course, that's just for the stuff between us and God. If we've hurt somebody else, restitution. You got to go to that person. You got to ask for forgiveness. You have to receive it. It's tough work. We only have just a little over 2 weeks. Well, I mean, it goes all the way through Yom Kippur, but the clock is ticking. And Maimonides says, oh, if you really want to do the work of tshuva, you know what you got to do? You got to take the thing that is hardest for you, that if you are a gossip, you have to make a vow to not say anything. If you are lazy, you got to jump out of bed in the morning. You have to switch it all upside down. And then you can come to the golden mean. So a story tonight about turning it upside down. You can read this later when you're having a need for a tshuva guide, okay? Take it with you. So it's a story about Saadia Gaon. Lived like 1,000 years ago. Great, great sage. Had many students, and students of those students, revered teacher. And one fall, late afternoon, some of Saadia Gaon's students were walking out in nature, and they heard this horrible cry, like a cry from the bottom of the soul, and they went over the hill to see what it was, and it was the Gaon himself. And they backed up because, it seemed like it was kind of a personal moment. I mean, the Gaon was calling out to God for forgiveness on the ground, weeping. They didn't say a word. And then they couldn't help themselves. The next day, they approached, very frightened, the great teacher. They said, Rabbi, what can we help you? Are you in pain? Is something wrong? And the rabbi said, no, I do that at the end of every day, especially in Elul. I said, why? You don't have any sins. You're the greatest. He said, let me tell you a story. So the Gaon began. He said, not so long ago, I began to feel that all the attention I was getting and all of the power, it was really getting in the way of my service to God. And so I decided that I was going to go into the neighboring village dressed just like a beggar. No one would even recognize me. And so I did it. I wandered from town to town. No one knew who I was. And one night, I got to a little inn. It was late. And I knocked on the door. And the innkeeper invited me in, but there was no rooms left, just a very, very tiny little room. He said, you're welcome to come. I slept there on the hay. In the morning, I said my prayers and I left. And that morning, 2 of my students came. And they said to the innkeeper, I think we have reason to believe that the great Gaon was here, slept here this past night. And the innkeeper said, no, there was a beggar that was here. No. But they began to describe me, especially in my new clothes. And the innkeeper realized he had made this horrible mistake. He gets on his horse, charges after me, gets there, and falls on the ground weeping. "If I had only known who I was serving," said the innkeeper. "If I had only known it was you, I would have given you the finest room. Come back, give me another chance." And I picked up the Gaon. I picked up the Gaon, reached out his hand and picked up the innkeeper. He said, "Now you have released me. I can go back. The true mission of my exile, its whole message has been received. I can go back." You see, the Gaon said, every day we're serving somebody. But do we know who we're serving? Do we know these words? Adonai Elohecha b'kirbecha. That's what it says right over our ark. And in this month of Elul, we are told, Hamelech basadeh, the king is in the field. The king is walking among us. And everything that comes our way, every beautiful moment, every complicated conversation, every habit that we can turn to the good, everything is an opportunity to serve. Hamelech basadeh. So this week, when we read Parasha Ki Tetzeh, when you go out, we're thinking we're going out into the new year. But next week, we're going to get to Ki Tavo, when you go in. May we all be granted the strength in these sacred weeks, in this sacred month, to look inward, to see the opportunities for service, to catch it, the opportunities to return. And may we do so with joy. Ken Yiratzon. We rise for the Amidah. Aleinu. One of those, I've done that often.
78.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 80. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz v'yom ha'u yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
Please be seated. As always, we remember loved ones before concluding. And if you hear the name of a loved one, please rise. We're remembering this week in the period of Shloshim, the last 30 days, Rosemarie Lenz and James Stone. We also remember, bless you, those loved ones who passed. As the anniversary of their passing is the Shabbat, their Yortzeit, Bertha Asher and Enid Asher, Lowell Bernstein and Herbert Cohen, Ruth Galprin and Mark Gershwend, Philip Hahn, Rabbi Jacob Rudin, Beatrice Levy and Ted Levy, Zoya Leveeva, Leah Malmid and Harry Malmid, Beatrice Margolin, Isaac Parmit, Thelma Rosenblum and Ernestine Rosenheck, Rose Susswine and Rose Tillis. May their memories be for a blessing. If you're here remembering someone whose name is not on the list, you'd like to rise and share their name, please feel free to do so. Anyone? Thank you, Jane. Anyone else? If it's your custom to rise with the mourners, please do so. We're on page 86. 86. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemer Rabba. V'yalma divrachu te v'yamlich mochu te. V'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. V'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmer Rabba mevorach leolam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei l'kudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'yalma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace bestow peace upon all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us all say, Amen. Please be seated, except for our president, Ron Epstein. It sure is nice to have you back, Ron. Feels like too long.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. It is indeed very nice to be missed. I had some really some lovely comments when I came into the building this evening, and it's a lovely feeling to be missed. So thank you all very much. I hope you all had a fantastic summer. It went by way too fast, but it is great to be back, and it's great to see all your faces once again. I'd like to share with you just a brief little story that happened to me this week, and I shared with Rabbi Meir earlier today. Many of you know that genealogy has been a hobby, perhaps even a bit of an obsession of mine for the past nearly 3 decades. Over the years, I've mapped out, extensively almost every branch of the family, sans one. There was one in particular, my grandmother on my mother's side, that really it was a dead end. And primarily it was a dead end because the family lore was that my grandmother had come here nearly 100 years ago with her family and left most of her immediate family behind, her parents and siblings and nieces and nephews and so forth. And all of those people in the Ukraine had been lost in the Shoah when the Nazis overran that part of the world. The only thing we had of that family was an old faded photograph of my great-grandmother in a shawl and my grandmother's brother and his wife and 2 children. A haunting photograph, frankly. A haunting photograph with beautiful faces that we knew that the tragic story that they were extinguished way too early. Over the years, Ancestry has blown up with the new science of DNA. About a year ago, I got a connection, a strong DNA match on Ancestry, a distant cousin that lives out in California. A very powerful match suggesting that we were second cousins. Howard, you know it's a pretty strong match. A year goes by, we couldn't find the common ancestor. Recently, actually this past weekend, I was going through the old photos. I came across this haunting photo again with these incredible faces. I said, you know what? I'm going to take a punt on a hunch, email him this photo, see what he comes back with. That was on Monday. About 20 minutes later, he replied, and I gave him the narrative. This was the family that was lost. All of them were lost in the Holocaust. And about 20 minutes later, he comes back and he says, it's a tragic story, Ron. Indeed, I believe it's true that all these people were eliminated. However, not all of them. You see, the boy in the photo, who was about 7 years old, I've known my entire life. He is my cousin once removed, and he passed just this past year at the age of 95. Subsequently, he sent me a photograph of him. I'm happy to show any of you later on, but he lived a full life, had children, grandchildren. I reached out to one of them today and had a touching telephone conversation late this afternoon. His daughter, throughout the years, and especially in the years that he came to the United States, he's been searching for the family he knew that was in New York and never had the opportunity to meet. And before he passed last year, he told his daughter, who was crying to me on the phone, that he said to her, please find my family. And she found his family, a little bit late, but she found his family. So perhaps him and my parents and all those people lost are looking down and maybe smiling a little bit. So it was a really touching story for me. I wanted to share it today, and I'm happy to share the photograph of this young boy at 7 and at 90. It's quite amazing. As always, things going on at Temple Beth-El. Torah study tomorrow morning, 9:15 a.m. Shabbat morning service at 10:30. Come and celebrate with the Leibowitz family and Maddie on occasion of her bat mitzvah. Slichot, September 21st at 9 p.m. Cleanup and tree planting at Whitney Pond Park on September 22nd at 3:30 to 5 p.m. The Panim program for the ECEC through the third grade, that's September 28th at 10 p.m. And in case some of you aren't aware, there's a couple of big holidays coming up. And as always, the office and clergy and maintenance are gearing up for the days of awe to come. So once again, it's great to see all of you again. Shabbat Shalom. Have a terrific weekend. A big shout out to our greeters, Howard Herman and Ann Finkelstein. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
We didn't mention the bakers because I hid the list. I hid the list.
Let's do it together. Let's do it together. Linda Diamond.
Donna Ganser.
Maria Margoloff.
Martha Hirsch.
Roberta Lulov.
And Ronit Pearl.
Fantastic.
And the Leibowitz family.
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing the pastries, making it sweet.
Our oneg will be right outside.
Turn your books outside.
Our oneg will be right outside because our elevators aren't working. We want to make sure everyone is able to participate in our oneg. And as always, thank you so much to Shai Kedmi for your beautiful piano playing. And before our last song, we're going to hear the shofar. Or we should hear the shofar after the last song. You tell me, Rabbi Meir.
Let's rise. Let's rise now.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 one more song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Michael. Dear Michael. Happy birthday to you.
Better than a kazoo.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.